Hello, innies and outies. This is FoxLogic. I'm tired, but I shouldn't be. I slept in quite late. Oh, goodness. Um, so yeah, I continued to work on this and got to my shading stage. And yeah, I also I ate an edible last night that just totally kicked my butt. So I was like I was trying my best, but I felt like Hypnotoad. So, uh, yeah. So I'll show you kind of what I'm doing for my shading. Right now I'm using a soft round pressure opacity and flow brush. This makes it look a little bit more like airbrush, or it's not a very good place to show you. Right there. There we go. It looks a little bit more like, yeah, airbrush or um, spray paint instead of just applying it straight onto the layer. And I made sure, excuse me, I made sure that this is on its own layer so that I can just kind of edit it however I want rather than have to work around stuff that currently exists. But yeah, so I'm basically going through, and this is all fur, and it's stylized fur, for sure. And I'm just kind of going through and making these little like elongated diamond shapes to make it look like there's some flow with the floof. And I'm just kind of gradually going through. um, this particular style I charge quite a bit for because it takes a while to do, or at least for me it does. I've seen people do this like less detailed and then that reduces the price. But this is for me, and I want it to look very amazing. So, yeah, I slept in way too late. Hope you guys are having a good day. I'm gonna try to just do. What was that? Why did that happen? That was weird. That was really weird. That makes me worried about my computer. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day. Um, I actually thought up of a really fun yick. I'm not sure if all of you know what that means. It just is like an abbreviation for your character here. And I've noticed it's really interesting as like a commission artist. And I'm a little old school because I'm a little older, but I'm used to just getting commissioned. And sometimes it's hard to strum up people who want to commission me because they either don't have very much money because they're quite young, or they're just kind of like pressed for spending money. And so artists in the furry community have created these weird little things called like adopts or yicks. And these are like really inexpensive commissions where the artist will take less for an adopt or a yick, and you can go ahead and try to fight me on that because I've got plenty of evidence to show that there are lots of yicks and adopts out there that are so much cheaper than flat up hiring an artist for their proper amount of time. Because if you just go by hourly rate, and let's say that minimum wage is $10 an hour, and they spend like 5 hours on it, and then they put the yick out for only 12. Yeah, there's a problem there. But the cool thing about Yix and the cool thing about Adopts is that the artist gets to decide what they want to draw, and that's why they justify it being cheaper than actually just straight up commissioning somebody for the proper amount of time. And so, yeah, it's like that makes it kind of fun. At first, I had a hard time adjusting to that because I was just all like, why are these things so inexpensive? What if I have bills that I want to make? Well, I'm willing to take a cut off of that if I get to decide what to draw. So that's fair in my opinion. So yeah, I've had this idea for a gig, and I don't like roleplay, which is funny. I actually have been in the roleplay community, not with the furry community, but in the World of Warcraft community and Black Desert community and Guild Wars 2 community for a long time. And I used to role play regularly. It was like one of my things. And I kind of developed like this weird PTSD from it, mostly because I would spend all of this time coming up with these great characters and stories. And 9 times out of 10, the person I was role playing with or who wanted to role play with me really didn't want to pursue anything other than some naughty stuff. And that ticked me off after a while because I always played villains. And I felt that it was not fair that I was treated as this, like, oh, I don't know, sexy fun times person for hire. I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna just, I'm not put here to make you feel pleasure. Like, I actually want a storyline with a plot and poetic justice and, irony. But yeah, I eventually kind of gave that up. I lost some friends and things kind of got like explosive on the World of Warcraft front. So I just stopped role playing. I just was like, I'm not having fun. I don't want to role play. I've had so many strangers come up to me and be like, "You want to role play?" And I'm all like, "Sure." And they're like, "Do you want to erotically role play?" And I'm just like, "No, please stop." And it's like I realized that strangers that wanted to role play with me, um, they'd always ask that. Like, I would be like, "All right." I even just like for a while before I decided that I just wanted to just quit cold turkey, I was like, I have this theory that these new people that want me to roleplay, give them 20 minutes. Because one simply does not roleplay for only 20 minutes. I was like, put it 20 minutes in. I bet they're going to ask me if I want to do some nasty stuff. And sure enough, they were like, so, do you want to erotically roleplay? And I'm just like, nope. And they're like, well, then fine. What's the point? I'm like, I know. I'm kind of thinking the same thing. And they're like, "You're so mean." And I'm just like, "I'm not mean. Like, I'm not mean. I have a boundary. Here it is. You're not understanding this is my boundary." And they're like, "I'm gonna tell everybody not to role play with you." And I'm just like, "Please do." Like, I should have been on Reddit, like, during this time, because I'm kind of starting to feel like this could have been like choosy beggars r/choosy beggars because I've seen a lot of BS. So I just stopped and I kind of just feel like I like the furry community. I'm very happy with the furry community, but I feel like there's going to be the same level of intrusiveness when it comes to role play. Like I'm too old, I'm too wise. I've seen it. I'm not gonna just go against my gut. My gut says that it's going to be the same. And that if I just like, oh, all right, well, maybe just this once, then I'll get hurt again. And so I'm just like, I'm not gonna role play. I wouldn't mind doing like a storyline. Like if somebody goes, "Hey, do you want to make a story with my character?" Like, and then we sit down and we come up with an idea. That'd be great. But or even like a comic. If they pay me for a comic, I'd be excited. But yeah, if they want to come up with like a cool storyline where we both agree no shenanigans, then maybe I'd be cool with that. But man, I'm just really over random role players. But anyway, I also kind of am at the time right spot right now, and if my mom's hearing this, she's gonna be like, "Yep." But I quit my job. Like I want to try to do this full time, and I have been doing artwork full time. And this is how I pay my bills right now, is trying to get my art up. And if I can get my art up, then I can register myself as an LLC and like actually be like a full-time, fully paid freelance artist. And so that's like my goal here. And so that's why I'm not really doing many things for free, just because even for myself, it's like it's costing me time and money to do stuff that I'm not going to get paid doing, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of in a weird spot because of that. But yeah, when it comes to shading, I'm pretty much just following along the lines. I'm going to go through and clean some of that up. Um, I didn't separate base colors. I was a little lazy. I could have separated base colors, and then all I'd have to do is like grab that and see like that. It just automatically selects it. You hit control, and I'm using my Wacom tablet, so I just hit it with my pen. But like if you're using your mouse, you right click it. But it selects all of that. So that's not what I want. I wanted just the lighter colored fur. Well, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go through and kind of clean some of that up. It feels like I'm spray painting and I didn't put like any painter's tape down, so I'm just kind of like, whoa. But yeah, time to clean it up. I'm gonna use a better eraser, one that gets straight to the point. There we go. But yeah, like I figured I'd do this yick and maybe put it out for like 15 bucks or something and just only do base colors and see if I can strum up some cash because holy shit, I'm kind of like, what the fuck? Oh, I shouldn't be swearing. I'm gonna have to bleep that out. Oh well. Well, I'm not monetized, so you know what? Well, I don't have to worry about demonetization. I'm not even monetized in the first place. So I'll just keep that in. If I was like trying to get monetized, I'd bleep that out. Or maybe come up with, I should start like catching myself before swearing and coming up with creative words. Uh, I don't even know what I'm doing. No, I do. My head feels like I got hit by a Mack truck. Is that too light? No, that looks okay. This is the first layer of shading. I'm gonna go back through um, and go over where I shaded with a little bit darker to kind of give a little bit more dimension. So some depth in my shading. I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm putting this back on my eraser. All right. And we're gonna do the same thing with this color. But yeah, I mean, I've been doing YouTube, I think since May or June of last year, and it's not been easy. Like, I don't have the subscriber count that I'd want. I do feel like my videos are not really being seen. Like, I'll post something, and for a little while, I definitely made it into the algorithm. And that was like really weird for me because it was not a video that I thought would make it into the algorithm somehow. It was very, very random. It was one of my forest videos when I was playing forest with my friend Kat, and I I guess I posted it at the right time or something, and like 100 people saw it almost like immediately, and it just got picked up by the algorithm. And so, like, if you typed in, the forest, it was showing up for a lot of people. And what happened was that, I mean, it was getting likes, but it was also getting dislikes. uh, because, people were like, what's this garbage? I wanted to learn to play the forest. I don't want to listen to these two chicks like blow each other up. um, well, I mean, you can't really blow yourselves up, really. But we were definitely doing that in other games. But I don't know. I was just like of all the things, like I have so many other videos, like gaming videos that are so much funnier. Like why this one? What's why? Oh, so stupid. And then, I'd make this video like that I really want to make it to the algorithm. Like I did like a best of video of our gaming, and it's really funny. And it's just it's just all the times where we were either really dumb and it was really funny, or made jokes and those were really funny. I just went through and found all the funny parts and then put them all together. And that didn't do as well as I thought it was going to do. I thought that would have been all right, so this is probably going to make it in the algorithm. I still have not hit like or put up a video that has like went viral. Like I've never gone viral. But I'm trying. Like I'm trying to find something that and it has to be something that I like too. Like I don't want to just make something and just be like, yeah, this is definitely going to go viral and then sell myself short because it's not something that I particularly like, but I just want to go viral. I want to do something that I like. And maybe that's why I'm having a hard time because, I've kind of got standards. I don't know. That's just me being mean. I definitely have some friends on here that have gone viral and they're very happy with it. They got an influx of subscribers, and that was what I was told by one of my friends here. He was just like, you just have to make something that pretty much, I don't think he said goes viral, but he said, gets picked up by the algorithm, and then you get a lot of subscribers, and then you're good. And he's monetized, so I've been getting some really good tips, but I don't know. I'm not doing the same thing he's doing. I mean, he's also an artist, but um, it wasn't his art that got him those subscribers. Another thing is that as a furry artist, I don't want to get famous from doing not safe for work artwork. Like, I'm trying to get my artwork out there without being nasty, and that's hard to do. Because most people want to bankroll, like, nasty stuff. Like lots of people with their weird fetishes are like, "Here, I'll pay you this much if you can help me get off with this type of artwork." Like that's great, but I've had experiences with not safe for work artwork, and in my experience, especially on Tumblr, the wrong thing to do is make not safe for work artwork, no matter who you are, because somebody somewhere could get offended by you or upset with you, and then all they need to do is lie and say that the artwork that you were commissioned to do or of your own characters was not consensual. And bam, you are destroyed. Because they won't listen to rhyme or reason. They'll just like attack you and your artwork and get your artwork taken down. It's like I had so much of my artwork taken down on my DeviantArt because somebody started to attack me on Tumblr. People will stalk you. They'll dox you and stalk you and they'll find where you live. Like I've had that happen to me. And so that's a big reason why I don't do not safe for work artwork. I don't, even if I'm commissioned, I could get like $400 for something, or like $1,000 for something, and I'll still say no. Like, I will never go through that again. It was very, very scary for me. Fortunately for me, the people that did that, um, they got their karma because, it's like this was kind of at the beginning of the Me Too movement. And I'm a strong advocate of the Me Too movement, but I also am a strong advocate about collecting your facts because people were using the Me Too movement as like cannon fodder. They're all like, well, this is happening. I hate this person. I want them to crash and burn. I want to be on r/pro revenge. Uh, let's sorry, something popped up. I want to pro revenge this person. Let's tell everybody that they're a rapist even when they're not. And so I was being flooded. I was like, I'm not a rapist. I've never raped anybody. What is going on? This is my artwork. Oh, well, somebody said that it was not consensual, that you're going around drawing porn of people's characters. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, what are you talking about? And I got my artwork taken down, which sucks because actually there are pieces of artwork that were up on my DeviantArt that weren't necessarily not safe for work, but they were drawn on my old HP laptop from college, and I was not able to back that laptop up before it went kersploosh, and so I lost those PDF files. And so I was like, oh, well, I saved them as JPEGs on my DeviantArt, so I guess I still have them. And then when they got taken down, it's like I will never see those again. Those are gone forever, and it's sad. So whatever. I mean, that's a big reason why I totally backed up my last Dell that I was very impressed lasted almost 12 years. But yeah, I go out of my way to make sure I save my artwork now. But yeah, it's not fair that that was happening. And now I sound like an a-hole because I'm kind of like disrespectfully talking about the Me Too movement, which I don't want to be put in this position at all, but this did happen to me. Like, here I am trying to represent the Me Too movement and like help my fellow men and women who have had these horrible things happen to them, and some evil person is using it as a way to like attack people. And because people are so like hot by this, like I'm gonna say hot by like easily upset or angered or motivated to take action, because of this movement, they're not even going to question it when somebody goes rape, and then everybody's like, let's grab our pitchforks and kill them. And it's like, wait, hold on, I have proof I'm not a rapist. Liar! Like, whoa. That was pretty much an intense conversation that I just had with myself that I am including you in. I apologize if it was uncomfortable for anybody. But long story short, the thing that I learned about that was don't do not safe for work artwork. Just don't, not even worth it. Don't even do it. Not even if everybody has given you their consent and they're paying you, that artwork still gets attacked and taken down and lost. So just don't do it. You know, I'm not offended by a not safe for. Well, I have been offended by some stuff. Just if it's really out there, I'm just kind of like, eh, don't do gross, super gross things. Don't hurt people. What's wrong with you? But yeah, I just am not gonna go down that path anymore ever again. I don't want to be hurt like that happened. So yeah, I've just been trying to do safe for work artwork. I actually had somebody, because I'm pretty open about being a furry, and when I was working at my last job, um, I was chatting with one of my coworkers, and I mentioned that I'm trying to get famous without doing naughty artwork. And she's an artist too, and she was like, I thought that's what you meant when you said that you're a furry. And I was like, what? She's like, that you do naughty artwork. I'm like, no, that's not what. Well, I mean, I'm not going to be angry about it. It's a very common misconception. So I just casually and still in kind of like our, shooting shit to the wind sort of communication that we were having, like without skipping a beat, I was like, nah, that's not what being a furry is about, but I'll tell you if you want to hear it. Like, and she was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, it's basically like being in like a fandom. And I was like, like football fans or like, Doctor Who fans or Star Wars fans, like it's a fandom like any other fandom. And you'll definitely still have people that draw like not safe for work stuff, and that's fine that they're sticking their own necks out there to do that, but I'm not going to. And she was like, "Oh, all right." She actually like listened to me because I wasn't mad at her. I was just very casual about it. But anyway, that looks pretty good. Let's see. Let's see what it looks like when I zoom out. Yeah, that looks nice. FoxLogic looks furry. I think I might actually, now that I'm zoomed out, kind of do that. Just to kind of make these look a little bit more blended together. So what I did is I kind of like erased the middle just because it was starting to look to me a little bit like fishnet, and I don't want it to look like a net is on my character. I want it to look like this is fur and we're following shadows here. So I'm going to kind of like erase the middle and maybe even do that here. Oh wait, that's the wrong layer. We'll just kind of, there we go. That looks a lot better. Sometimes you have to spend hours on the details only to zoom out and go, all right, well, I'm going to erase this whole chunk. Well, and it still looks great, but at least you had the opportunity to see it all detailed. Uh, I don't know if you guys do that a lot. I keep hitting the side. Or like I'll see like I'll rest my finger on the side and it'll pop up. Do you want to turn touch on or off? No, I just accidentally had my hand there. Oh, I'm sorry to continue this discussion, but the person that was attacking me definitely got her karma because she cried wolf so many times that on so many different people that she eventually cried wolf on the wrong person, and the community who knew this person and were like flabbergasted they were being called out. They finally all like people kind of did their own investigation on this person that was calling everybody out, and come to find out she was abusive. And she finally got her comeuppance. She was basically doing this to everybody, and the person she did it to was like the sweetest person on the planet. And the community knew this because this person had been around for a while, and like they were like, hold up, hold up, hold up, pause. It's kind of like what happened to Johnny Depp. Like people were accusing him of a rape and abuse, and then come to find out that the person that was accusing him was the one doing the abuse. And now we're all kind of like, I feel like this day and age, after a couple of years after Me Too, people are like going, all right, pause. We do need to make sure that this is legitimate. Because some people are using this as an unfair weapon to abuse people and victimize people. And so people slow down. But yeah, that person was chased off the server and never seen from again. I did run into them. Well, I thought I ran into them because they made a new character to kind of like spy on the server, like test out the server and see if anybody remembered them. And they had a character that was named after one of their old characters that I recognized. Um, but it like they changed the spelling a little bit. So I think that they made they renamed an old character and just were kind of hanging out. And because I remember them from so long ago, I was like, "Hey, is this so and so?" And they were like, "What? Who? No? What? No?" And then they log off. And I was like, "Oh, all right." Now I don't have anything to talk about. I could talk about art, but I'm not really doing anything different from what I started doing at the beginning of the video. I just want to finish this part. Art can be very boring. Oh well, I personally like it. It makes me happy. So, I recently got my boyfriend into watching Manifest with me, and I'm not sure if any of you have ever heard of Manifest. It just came out with a second season. It's written by the same creators who did Lost, and I've become huge fans of these creators. They also did Once Upon a Time, which I used to just love, except for like the third season and forward. Like I liked everything else in the beginning. But then as soon as the Elsa season came out, I was like, I'm done. But yeah, they have this show out called Manifest, and it's about um Well, I think it's kind of centered around the Malaysian flight that went missing. And the premise is that this flight goes missing, but then miraculously reappears. And so everybody's lives, and to the people on board, no time has passed. They're totally like, they feel like they just got on the plane and just had their normal flight and are just getting off. But to everybody around them, they were gone for like 6 years, 5 or 6 years. I think it was like 5 years and like 6 months or something. And everything around their lives has changed. And they do kind of come back with superpowers. Like, I wouldn't necessarily call them superpowers, but some things like tampering with them. And so, like, nobody remembers anything else that happened on the plane, so they're kind of having to all piece together what's going on. It's kind of crazy. It kind of has a little bit of, I think it was Heroes that came out that had like the guy that played Spock as the bad guy named Siler. You just heard this like tick tock tick tock. So when they cast him as Spock, I was like, Siler's Spock. I loved Heroes. That was also a show that I really liked. But yeah, Manifest is really great. They also have some really neat references. Like, I think the last episode we watched had a reference to Angels in America, which is like a really awesome book slash play that has to do with like the early LGBT community back when the AIDS epidemic was happening, which is important to me because I lost an uncle during that. But I mean, it's important for everybody because that was super, super tragic and so sad. We lost so many great people, and you know, like Freddie Mercury, and so many people died, and it was very scary, and it scared so many different people. That's not the right color. So check out Angels in America if you ever have the time to do so. I highly recommend it. I feel like that's too dark. I don't know. What do you guys think? Well, let's make it more saturated, and then we can make it less dark. I kind of feel like that might be a good way to. Well, that's okay. Especially since I'm going to go back over it with a darker color. This video is going to be. So I have a video idea. I don't even know how long this video is. I'll figure it out later. I have an idea that requires a uh, a stopwatch, but one that I could put in Photoshop. And I know that there is definitely like clocking in software. I actually downloaded one. I think it got taken out because I wasn't using it, but that I hated actually. I was at first gonna because I did a lot of like trying to decide what I wanted to charge, and in order to do so, I had to clock how much time certain things were taken. And I ended up just writing it down, like just by hand, and that's how I figured out how much hours I, usually spend on a project, which is like between 6 hours to 3 days. Like, I definitely spend a lot of time on stuff. Um, but yeah, I for a video, I want to show the progression. like why things take so long and how long these things take. And maybe I can actually do it in OBS, actually. Maybe there is an option to do that. I'll have to double check OBS later. But like if I could have like a timestamp right here up here and just like record, just, actually I probably won't even talk. I'll probably just record it with a timestamp up at the top of the screen and then speed it up so that way, people aren't just sitting there for hours and hours and hours on end and actually take that amount of time to draw said thing. Like here's what a project looks like after, well, after like 6 hours, like what I said earlier, taking 6 hours long to draw something is pretty normal for me. And then here's what you get when you pay for 6 hours, and that would 6 hours times minimum wage. Let's say, like I said earlier, let's say minimum wage is $10 an hour. That would be $60. And it's gonna be good. A 6 hour image for me is awesome. But like say for this thing's gonna take days. Like this particular project I'm working on is gonna be a while. But like let's say my Yick project idea that I have, that thing is probably gonna take about 2 hours to make. Like just straight up 2 hours. Not to originally draw the Yick itself, like the blank Yick's probably gonna take like, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes. Not even that. But to draw people's individual characters, I think is going to take about 2 hours a piece. But if people aren't going to want to buy a Yick for $20. I think I was watching Beta Ada Delota earlier, and he was like talking about Yicks from years ago, and he bought like a $15, $30 one, and he showed like a $30 one, and it was like it's so expensive, and I'm just like, yeah, that I disagree with that. That's you're paying for time, not quality. Like, and if somebody is poor quality and spends too much time on something, then yeah, they need to go back and learn to be like, uh, not to be a better artist. That is originally what I was gonna say, but they need to could reconsider their even opting for commissions if they take so long and it's not very high quality. All right, I think that looks pretty good. It'll look better when I start putting in a little bit more shadows and highlights. Highlights make the world go round. But yeah, what I was saying is that I want to clock how much time and actually show you guys. Maybe show people I know who want to argue with me, mostly, that artwork takes a while to do. I don't just fart it out. I'm not just like, ooh, art, and then like there's art somehow, suddenly, magically. Like I actually have to sit down and draw it. And sometimes that can be painful if I don't want to do that. But yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna cut this here. I rambled on forever, and I probably pissed some people off with talking about the Me Too movement. And I'm sorry, but I'm sharing my experiences, and what happened to me was very unfair and very scary. Being doxxed and wrongfully accused, and it's tough. It's tough being wrongfully accused and sitting in silence for years just because you're afraid of talking because people think you're something that you're not. And I think that we should stand up for those people too, because that's not fair. And I'm really glad that the person that abused me got their karma. That helped me get closure and move on. But yeah, so thanks so much for watching. If you have any suggestions you want me to like do for my actual YouTube channel, um go ahead and put it in the comments. If you decide to follow me on Patreon, and want some, you want to make requests for tutorials there, then go ahead. I do plan to do a lot. So, like, if you want to see me drop hands and just like show you how I draw hands, I can definitely do that. So, yeah. Anyway, like and subscribe. Thanks so much for supporting me. Have a good one.